Right, so I had a bit more on my earlier bide your time sections, but I'm conscious of the time and I think I talked around quite a lot of this already, so I'll just zoom through some of this stuff. These are kind of things I said earlier about stuff that you could do before you go into the supermarket. Again, like kind of that focus on your local independent high street. I guess just again to say that thing of just go out there, start knocking on doors, bring people samples and freebies. Quite a good thing sometimes to do is to offer them some stuff for free, let them sell it, and then if it sells well, the next time they'll buy it from you. So you're giving them some free cash, but you're giving them a chance to put it on the shelf and see what happens, which is always quite a critical chance. Think about leaflet drops. This is something we actually did recently. So we recently hired someone into our team who basically has a van and sells cases of beer to corner shops at the back of his van. Before he did that, he did a bunch of leaflets drops around corner shops just in our local area, so like Camden Borough. And we had huge uptake from it. People got the leaflet, got in touch, phoned us and said, we want some of your beer, can we have some? It drove massive sales increase for us, so it's really important. And just around the impact of this again, I said this can be massive before. We only launched that earlier this year, and we're quite a big business now. That one guy in his van are going to do more sales for us this year than Morrison's. And that just shows the power of like him being in the right place, where our consumer is, where people know who we are, versus Morrison's, who are amazing in many ways, but we're very London, they're very North focused, they're very value focused, we're very premium. So our fit isn't great. So actually we are selling more off the back of our van than we are into sort of 350 Morrison stores, which is pretty incredible. I'll just talk a little bit about Amazon and e-com. So setting up your own web shop. This is not my area of expertise, but platforms like Shopify and Magneto make this so much easier for small businesses to do, and actually are really reasonable if you're a small business starting point. So getting in touch with them can be a really effective way of starting to build your brand. And then Amazon. It's a bit of an intense slide, but Amazon are quite an intense business. There's quite a few different ways you can sell on Amazon. And probably the key difference is you can be a seller or a vendor. And basically, if you're a seller, you sell your product directly to the end consumer. If you're a vendor, you sell your product to Amazon, who sell it on to the consumer for you. Being a vendor gives you kind of full access to the whole Amazon beast and means that they will push your product on your behalf. The challenge with that is that it gives them full control of your product, by which I essentially mean price. And Amazon are super price focused, so they will go out at the cheapest price in the market they can find and they will match it. That might be okay if you're quite comfortable with the pricing in the market and like who else is, what other people are doing. It might also freak you out a bit, and I would advise proceed with caution there. It's not something you need to do really early. The alternative way of approaching Amazon is as a seller. So that's when you sell your product directly to them, to your consumer. And again, there's two ways you can do this. Basically, either you just set up as a seller, and that essentially means Amazon functions for you in a not dissimilar way to what it does like eBay would. Basically, you put your product up there, someone finds it and says, yes, I want to buy this, puts an order through, you get that order and you fulfill it, you kind of put the package, send it in the post and get it to them. The alternative to that is this thing called FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. And basically what that means is you do the same thing, but you then send stock of your product into an Amazon warehouse, so that when somebody places an order, rather than it coming to you, it actually goes straight to Amazon, and Amazon fulfill it for you. Now they charge you quite a lot of money for the pleasure of doing that, but what it means is actually you get the benefit of the full Amazon network. So if you can afford to do that, you can actually like get your products on Prime. So anyone on Prime will get free next day delivery of what you do, and you don't have to be the one trying to manage that postage. So if you can afford kind of the Amazon prices, then doing it this way is a really good way of very efficiently getting your stuff into other people's hands. Amazon is complicated, but it's also really well set up for small business who want to start. So you can just do the process and follow all the steps it tells you. If you have questions, you can submit questions on their forum, and they're really good at coming back to you, and they're really good at telling you what to do next. So it's actually really well set up for small businesses to be able to work its way through and have as good a presence as a much bigger company as well.